Hello. So in this session, I will be going over some warm-ups and then some standing postures. So it's only going to be standing postures. So if you are in a hurry, this might be a quick and sort of a convenient set of postures that you can go through. So I hope you enjoy this one. First, let's stand. We will do a bit of warm-up. So exhale to the side. You can even exhale through the mouth. Continue like this. Now you can go a little bit higher on one side. You can lift this leg, lift this heel as you go up to the opposite side. Continue like this. And then obviously you can do the opposite side. And then come back to the center. Let's go up with the arms. Do a little bit of back bend. You can engage the core here, especially when you go backward. And then exhale, almost like the letter W with your arms. Elbows are down. You can have the palms toward each other. Inhale, a little bit of back bend. Exhale to the W. Inhale, up. Exhale, W. Couple of more times. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Come down, dangle your arms from side to side. You can sigh out through the mouth. And let's slowly come back up. You can squeeze your shoulder blades, maybe lifting your arms, maybe not. You can engage the core. As you exhale, you can lower the head. Now, if your arms are against your back, that's fine. You can keep the hands at the sacrum level. Slowly lift yourself up. Inhale. Exhale, slight forward bend, not too much, just relax your neck. Inhale here. Now, if you are elevating the arms, exhale, arms go up, head down, relax the neck completely. Soften the neck. Inhale, coming back up, and exhale. So, let's do the rotation of the hips. So, we're still warming up. But you know, the warm-ups alone could be enough for you to just kind of have a little break, you know, for your mind and for your body. So going to the opposite direction. Exhaling forward, inhaling backward. You can even close your eyes. Good. Let's come back to the center. So you can shake your legs. Now you can hang on to something and just shake quite a lot on one leg and to the opposite leg. Or if you don't need to hang on to anything, you can even make this into a little bit of balance posture. Shaking it out. Or you can do one by one, whatever that makes sense to you. Good, good. Let's shake the arms going up and down, up and down, shaking, 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 coming down, shaking, 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 coming down. One last time, shaking, 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 come down and come to the center. So let's do what I call the change of air. So you're going to bend your knees, open your arms up and over. Inhale. Sigh out through the mouth. Just your arms are moving, not the legs. And again, bend the knees, open wide. Inhale. Sigh out through the mouth. One more time, just like this. Inhale, bending your knees. And come to the center. So let's do the forward bend. Feet as wide as the hips. Hands can be along the lines, along the legs coming down, or hands at the hip crease, around the bikini line. As you exhale, come down. You can lead slightly with your chest, but relax the back of the neck as well. Shoulders are away from the ears. And then push a little bit more into the front of the balls of the feet rather than the heels. Continue to breathe here. And you want to soften around the knees, not so much stick straight. So please don't lock your knees. Yeah. So just a little bit of softness coming to the knee joints, but you feel the stretch everywhere else at the back side of the legs. And bend the knees, slowly inhale, come back up. So now we're going to that chair. So that was the first forward bend, Uttanasana. And we're going to come to the chair pose, Utkatasana. So the same thing, feet as wide as the hips, parallel to each other. And this time you're going to sink down with your hips. Make sure that you can see your toes in front of the knees. Yeah, so you're not going forward like this because it will be too much for your knee joints to hold that pressure. If anything, you want to go backward with your hips rather than changing the position of your knees. Yeah? Now, engage the core. If you have any lower back problem, you might want to stay here with your hands on the legs or pointing down. If you're okay, however, you can start to lift all the way up, maybe sandwiching almost your head with your upper arms. You can look up, you don't have to. Continue to breathe here. Again, make sure that you can see all of the toes in front of your knees and stretch the side. So, when we do this correctly, it's actually quite uncomfortable. And sometimes, Utkatasana, this chair pose is translated to be the awkward pose. It does feel a little awkward. So continue to breathe here. Yes, we are holding the position. Yes, it can become a bit much. So slowly inhale, coming up. Exhale, a little bit of back bend because it will feel very nice after squeezing the front anyway. And exhale. So we will do one more chair pose and I will show you the front view this time instead of the side view. So again, feet as wide as the hips. And then you're going to make sure that you can see the big toes are fine, but all of the toes preferably. In front of your knees. Yeah, engage the core. Start to lift your arms. Now, I have seen some people do this with the knees closed like this or feet closed like this. Feet and knees are close together. It's okay. There is a variation like that. But if you are opening the feet, please have the knees pretty much on top of your feet, not knees closed. Yeah. So parallel shins, so to speak. Continue to breathe. Now, if you are experiencing a lot of intense sensations at the thigh level, you might want to go back a little bit with the hamstrings rather than the thighs. Feel it with the back side. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, a little bit of back bend. And exhale. Let's go back to this. So if we do this correctly, just by doing that chair pose can be actually a workout, yes? So if you wish to stop now, you can. But I'll continue. So continue. A little bit of rolling. It's a nice recovery movement. So when in doubt, do the rotations. All right, coming back to the center. So let's do the warrior one. Yeah. So Right foot forward, left foot backward. Left toes are slightly pointing outward. You can probably see that. And then hips and the shoulders are parallel to, let's say, the wall, or I'll show you here. So completely forward and square. Now, I say this because often what happens is that people open the posture to the side. And I can see that even through the screen, like you can see that. So this is not the position. This is the position. So in order to be able to do this, your left leg might have to go a little bit wider away so that the hips can go square forward and the shoulders are forward. Yes. So exhale, you're going forward. So this is the pyramid pose, actually, not the warrior. Sorry about that. So you can, without bending the front knee, you stretch the back of the right leg, back of the front leg. Pyramid pose. Parshvottanasana in yoga, in Sanskrit. And now let's come to warrior one. So you bend your knee, right knee, pretty much on top of the ankle or just a little bit before. And then you can make your body a little bit more open. So you might feel that as a back bend. Have your arms up and over. Some people like to have the palms together or open, whichever that makes sense to you. Now, if you have any lower back concerns, you might like to make it a little bit more forward to make it less of a back bend. Yeah, so you can stay here for a little while. Stretch the back leg now. And push into the front leg. Inhale and exhale, step forward. Let's do the opposite side. So step back with the right leg. We'll do the pyramid pose first. Again, hips, shoulders square, not going to the side. We're going forward and square. So, sometimes also if you are too close together in terms of the legs, you might feel a little wobbly. So you want to, widen the width between the feet. Yeah. Inhale in this position, Parshvottanasana. Exhale, coming forward. So you feel the stretch coming to the back of your left leg. Continue to breathe here. One more breath like this. Let's bend the front knee. Again, pretty much on top of the ankle or slightly behind the ankle. You would never want to go over the ankle, over the toes, because it will be too much for the knee. So please be careful. And again, if you have any lower back concerns, you can actually stay here. Or if you want to do more of a stretch, Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1, continue to breathe in this position. And so let me show you the front view. So some people like to have the arms together, the palms together. Some people like to open. I personally like to open to sort of let the shoulders down, but it's up to you. You could even look up, couple of more breaths like this. So the knee is on top of the ankle. And next exhale, step forward. And relax. Again, let's go from side to side. And let's come back to the center. So now we will go to the side postures, open wider. So about 3 or 4 steps away from each other. Outer edges of the feet are parallel to each other. And hands around the hips or the waistline, whichever that's good for you. Exhale, forward bend. So you can relax the head toward the floor. Imagine that the top of the head wants to go touch the floor. So at this point, if you'd like to open your feet a little bit wider away from each other to augment that stretch, you can. Just make sure that you can come up without falling. Because when we open too much, it's hard to come back up, yeah? So do it wisely. Couple of more breaths like that. Bend your knees a little bit, engage the core, inhale nice and slowly come back up and exhale. So let's go to triangle. You might want to close in a tiny bit. Still, outer edges of the feet are parallel to each other. And then we will go to your right side. So your right foot moves away. So in relation to each other, your feet are in the sort of 90-degree angle, yeah, in relation to each other. Still, the hips will be square forward, not going to the diagonal direction, but going forward. So this foot, you might want to make it a little bit sort of not so much 90, but slightly inward. That's fine too, if that's more comfortable for your ankle. Yeah, and then you want to push the hips toward your left side, and then your head goes toward the right leg. Yeah, and then you can open your arms, north-south axis or 6 o'clock position, and then you can either look up to the thumb, that's the traditional way, or if the neck is a little stiff, you can look forward or down. It's up to you. Continue to breathe here. You want to engage right here because it's a stretch for the outer hip, your left hip, yeah? Engage around here, engage around the lower abdomen too. Now, in order to come away from the position, you want to bring a little bit of softness to your right leg. Inhale, come back up, and exhale. Going to the opposite side. So bring the foot back, the right foot back. Now, left foot goes out. Still, the hips and the shoulders are to the front. And again, you're going to push the hips toward the opposite direction from your head, right? So coming down, and then you can open to the 6 o'clock position and look up toward the thumb, or you can look forward or down depending, but traditionally we will look up if the neck is okay. And again, engage around here, engaging to protect the lower back and the hip. Yes. And then bend the left knee, inhale, come back to the center, and exhale. So now, we will do it one more time. And for the next one, I will show you the entry and the exit to the position in a different way, even though it's exactly the same posture. So let's start with both feet parallel to each other and opening your right foot out. Again, the hips and the shoulders parallel to, well, to me, it's the screen, to you. So different way to go into the position. You open this, you might see this in like a movie or something because it's quite beautiful to watch. So you're going to push, again, the same thing, pushing the hips, and it looks flashier with your hands like this, right? And then be pulled toward the right side and then come to the 6 o'clock position. Same posture, it's just a little flashier, I guess. And again, looking up or looking forward, engage the core. And then you can bend the knee and again, be pulled back to the center. Yeah, so it just looks a bit fancier. You might have to engage the core a little bit more in this variation because your arms are sort of going, pulling your body to the side. So let's go to the opposite side. Left foot out, hips, shoulders square to the front. Open your arms. Push your hips a little bit to the other side and then be pulled a little bit. It's almost as if someone wants your attention, like come over here, and then exhale to the 6 o'clock position. Continue to breathe here. Engage the position, engage your abdomen. One more breath in this position. And then you can loosen your left knee a little. Come back up, inhale, Inhale, nice and slowly with control because you want to be careful with the back and the hips. Yeah, come back to the center, heel, toe, heel, toe. Let's shake it out. Okay, so let's once again do the change of air. Inhale, sigh out. Again, inhale. And one more time. And let's stand in what they call the mountain pose Tadasana. Tadasana. So feet as wide as the hips. Relax your hips, relax your knees a little bit too. Shoulders are open. You can have the arms to the side. So it's like a tall mountain. I mean, I'm not tall anything, but imagine that you're a tall mountain. You can even close your eyes and breathe. Calm down the breath, calm down the mind. This is the last posture of this session. And we are finished. Thank you very much for joining me today in this session. Thank you for doing yoga with me, yoga with Shizu. Bye.